Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to a new video. Today we are playing Bedwars. We're reviewing these new items. So the wind charge, you get 3 for 3 gold, and you get the mace, 3 emeralds, 1 mace. I want to try out the 2 items and see like if they can be good in general. My first thought is going to be that making the mace that expensive is going to be very bad. Okay, that works for me. I think 3 emeralds for the mace is excessive, but that's just me. Yeah, I shouldn't have block hit there. Should have gone deeper. Okay, pause. But yeah, I think that the mace being as expensive as it is right now is not really that good. Yes! Nice. So yeah, that's the breeze thingy. The wind charge, yeah. The textures change depending on what version you're playing on. Since I'm playing on 1.8.9, you obviously don't get the normal textures, but I would rather die than play Bedwars in the 1.21. It's that bad. Yeah, in my opinion, the wind charges, they're obviously a rotational item. I think they should become permanent eventually. But so far, doing a comparison to fireballs, I don't know if this is true, but this is just out of my pure speculation. I think the breeze, fucking hell, the wind charges, not the breeze bolts. I think that the wind charges are actually slightly, like a little bit lower than fireballs. I'm gonna try them again, obviously, but I'm gonna get some amps because I need that mace. Obviously, the mace you're gonna wanna use it with fireballs, jump boost, and the new wind charges. But I have a problem with those. I don't like the mace as a weapon in 1.8.9. See, I know that mace PvP is becoming like the new big thing in Minecraft, but I don't really like it in Bedwars. Well, obviously it's not gonna work like it does in normal Minecraft, but first thing that I see is if you get sharpness, it doesn't really boost your mace. I'm gonna get 3 of these. So that's something. Another thing is you to get the wind charges, you actually need a lot of gold. 3 for 3, which in my opinion is quite significant. Now, in my opinion, they should make it so sharpness affects the mace. I know that it doesn't in no more Minecraft, but please, it would be better. It would make it more worth it because a wood sword is better than a mace. As it looks, maybe if it negated fall damage, it would be decent. Interesting play from White. But yeah, I think if it negates fall damage, it will be worth it. I should have bought. Okay, whatever. I should go for that guy. See, normally I would go for green because, free stats. Woo! But not this time though. See, I'm gonna bring him in. I'm gonna reel him to me. Shut up. My problem, first of all, That did not do any damage. That only did 8 damage. And that's if it even did any damage to begin with. What an idiot. Man. Anyways. Yeah, this thing is kind of annoying. I can't even lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. This item is actually on Fraud Watch. It's not that good. I'm not gonna lie. As I'm as I'm using it right now, it doesn't seem all that good. Because first of all, if you use jump boost or you use the breeze, then you're not really gonna be doing. You're gonna choose jump boost, breeze. I mean, my God, I'm cooked. Jump boost, wind charges, or fireballs. Now, personally, I would pick fireballs because they actually you can shoot them at players. So the weakness of the wind charge is you can't shoot it at a player. So realistically, it's just not that useful compared to a fireball. I mean, technically it's a cheaper alternative depending on what you're packing on, but in my opinion, they really ain't all that because look, yeah, I'm still gonna use a stone sword. I'm gonna fumble this bed break. Yeah, because people just go into their bases. That's the thing. So like I'm right here, sitting here. This guy's gonna go back to his base. And on hit deals an additional 0.025 damage for each block you've fallen. And prevents fall damage. Wait, this is useful. Preventing fall damage is useful. Okay, that's good. Hmm. I wonder, is there this in practice? Let me check. Oops. Nope. Doesn't seem like it. They should make it into practice so you can kind of practice chaining. Okay, this is gonna be the last game. And we're just going to be, once again, trying the item. Same thing that I've been doing for the past bit. Something that I've noticed is I don't really like the feeling of it as much as I like fireballs. I actually want to try that out this game. In my opinion, these feel cheap. Like, you know when you have a new mouse and you go back to your old one, and your old one was comparably, a cheap material and build? Well, that's how I feel about these. I need to stop placing blocks. I'm just screwing myself up. I was very indecisive that fight. That's why I lost it. I was debating if I should deposit my wind charges or I don't know. Like right here. See, I was gooning too much, but oh, I can left click them. That's odd. I was gooning way too much, and that's why I lost my bet. And that's my problem with this item. As you guys saw it, I tried to use it like I do when I always fireball jump, and it just didn't work the same way. They're very, very different, in my opinion. I mean, obviously they're going to be, but the feeling is very different, and I don't know how to explain it. Hence why I'm going to go mid. Hopefully, I'll be able to go mid. I want to get some M so I can get a pearl and be a little bit safer. But I also want to like camp this game a little bit because I want to get a fireball and be able to compare them. Because this item feels a little weird. I'm not saying that it's bad. So obviously, if we compare them head to head, the fireball, it's you take damage from, the launch. You make a little path of fire, which if you fall into it or your teammate does, you're gonna have a bad time. But if the opponent does, it's helpful. So fireballs also do knockback. These don't. So these only launch you. These only, in a way, boost you, which is good, but it's also bad. So what I'm going to do is, I want to buy a mace, but I am not going. I'm gonna buy Imbis, and I'm going to buy Bridge Egg. There we go. I'm gonna get this and this. And I'm gonna get some tools. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go to another base so that I can get a fireball. So that I can compare the feeling of these. They did, they were able to simulate how a wind charge feels when I'm playing. That's a good thing, I guess. But I want to compare them myself. So here, look. When you do the wind charge here. So yeah, I'm gonna do another one. I go up to this one, but with a fireball, it launches me way higher. So fireballs launch you higher, and also when you launch them, it feels different. It has a better feeling to it when you use them. Meanwhile, in my opinion, the wind charge has a very clanky feeling like this right here. So like if I want to do this, see, it feels weird. I think in a way, I don't know if this is why or if I'm imagining it, but fireballs for me, they feel more, what should I call it? They feel more like they launch you up and forward. Meanwhile, the wind charges, they make me feel like I'm being launched upwards. And if I try going forward, let's see. I'm gonna try to wind charge jump. Yeah, the height difference may seem very uh small, but firewalls are way better. I'm sorry. You do take a little damage from the launch. So if you're clutching, I would say fireball jumping is still better. If you're gonna go into a very intense fight, I think wind charge jumping is better. But I will stick to fireball jumping. I will use wind charges when actually I don't know when I'm gonna use them. But yeah. Hmm. I'm gonna go Imbis here. So blue is getting diamonds. I hope that blue doesn't notice, but I'm gonna go blue. I think blue is by far the best player between him and the other guy. I'm gonna get blue red, take the gen, and there we go. So let's say that theoretically I have to run away, like the Kanye West song. If I have to run away from someone, I should have gotten upgrades. I now realize this. So right here in this situation, I would fireball jump. I guess his ammo, so you should go back to his base. Yeah, right here. Fireball jumps go higher, and they give you a better, not only vertical, but horizontal advantage. So if you're trying to run away from a situation, I would say fireball jumping is the way to go. If you're trying to go to someone though, which is now it's much different, I would say that genuinely, if you're just doing this to short distance get away, these are better. Like, let's say that I'm gonna take a fight right now and I'm very low. Like right here. This is better. I take slightly less fall damage than I would with a fireball, but I also make it to where I want to get. So in that situation, a wind charge is better. But if I want to from here to here, like if I want to go from here to here, I would fireball jump. Because I know that the fireball is gonna actually get me up there compared to the wind charge, which is only gonna make me hit the wall. So I think I can kind of now lay down like a finger as to how differently I would use them. I would use. Damn, he's onto me. Let's see, can I get away with this? Is my question. I did. Okay, cool. Hmm. So right here, the best thing to use would be the fireball, obviously. Hmm. The gear advantage is significant in my opinion, but I can just do that or not. See, my ego is telling me to take it, even though he outgears me by a mile. Hmm. I want to get him to a corner. That's not the kind of corner that I wanted to get him into, but yeah. I'm gonna just go back to his base and use my resources. Because I want to get a diamond sword. And I'm gonna get jumpers here. You know, for someone who keeps begging to be killed, doesn't really seem like he wants to. He keeps on gapping too, so. Yeah. Let's see. What do I do here? There we go. I don't know why I was so scared I was gonna kill him anyway. But yeah. Anyways, the maze, pretty bad, unless I'm gonna have to do this here. Let me go to a practice mode actually, so that I can show the situation in which you want to use the mace. Right here. Let's say that. Why did he say I'm gonna be right back? What? Let's say that you're being chased by someone. Like right here. You're being chased. Ooh. You start bridging up, then you start doing this. Then what you want to do is you want to cover them up, build up more. And let's say now you're here. And let's see someone is below. The mace prevents you from taking fall damage. So if you keep going up to the limit, let's see, 114, and there's a guy below me. The mace has 5 damage, and it gets 0.025 per block. So 114, and I fall 80. That's 30, and you get 1/4 of that for 1 damage. So that's 30 over 4. If we add 2, that's 8. Subtract 0.5. You get like 7.5 extra damage, so you're gonna deal 12. Meanwhile, an iron sword without sharpness, that's 6. So you're gonna be doing double the amount of damage as an iron sword. I can see this item being useful for that situation. So let's say that right here there's a guy defending his bed, and he has, a few layers of bed defense. Let's say you're playing solos and you're clutching and he has a bed defense. So yeah, you can just keep doing this. I don't know what the build limit is for maps, but let's say that the build limit for this one is 130. He has leather armor, no prot. Sharpness doesn't affect the mace, even though I think it should. So then you drop from here 130, hit him. So you hit him and you're doing let's see, 130, 80, that's 50. 50 divided by 4. That would be almost 13. That would be like 12.5 maybe ish. So you're doing pretty much 12.5 added to your 5, you're doing 17.5 damage. I believe that's slightly double than no, way more than double than a iron sword. I think that's slightly double a diamond sword with sharpness 1. I think that's actually slightly more than a sharp 2 diamond sword. So yeah, in my opinion, if you're in a 1v1 and you're like you can go up there to the max and your enemy is down here, since you can cancel out the fall with the mace, I think it would be actually worth it and very smart to, you know, use the mace. So yeah, I'm not saying that the mace is bad. I'm just saying that it's very situational. Like for example, maybe you're hiding behind someone's base and then you decide drop, hit him with the mace. That would be a useful way to use it, but let's say you're doing a normal Bedwars game. You go mid, you get 8 ounce, you're not getting a mace. Because even with jump boost, let's see, jump boost I think is like 5. Even with jump boost, I think from jump boost you actually will do as much damage or even less than you would do with a sharp iron. So in my opinion, the mace is kind of useless. I think maybe a little buff that it should get would be obviously that sharpness should work on it, but it's a shovel, so that's the problem. Either that or that you could be able to, upgrade it, or maybe a rotation item gives you an enchantment like density on it. I don't know how that would be, coded into Bedwars, but I think that the mace is a cool weapon, but it's only good for sneak attacks. Like, can you imagine playing Jurassic, hiding behind the base with your 4 teammates like this, and then all the players from one team leave except one, and all of you jump down, hit him with your mace, one shot him, well, technically four shot him, but one shot him, and break the bed? That would be insane. But yeah, I think for your normal gameplay, you wouldn't be using it. Uh, if you're gonna use it, fireballs are better than the wind charges, in my opinion. But yeah, same thing goes for the wind charges. I think wind charges are arguably um worse than fireballs. I think fireballs are much better than wind charges because when I'm playing Bed Wars, I usually have to use long jumps more than small jumps. Like if I'm here, if I fireball jump, I can make it. Like if I fireball jump, I'm gonna go like "Prrrr," and I'll probably land like this, and I can go. But if I breeze, I mean wind charge jump from here, ooh, I'm lagging. I'm not gonna make it. That's the thing. So wind charges, they're cool and everything, but I don't think that in the long scale, I think the fireball is better. I already demonstrated this in the last game. So like, let's say that the jump is like this long. You can definitely get away with, breeze ball. Oh my God, wind charge jumping here. But let's say that the jump is, like this. You can just fireball jump here and land here. So yeah, I think it's very doable. So in my opinion, take it with a grain of salt. I don't think that these items are gonna become broken. I don't think they're gonna become meta. I think that for them to be able to become something insanely broken, they have to be very unbalanced. So honestly, props to the admins for not making them the most crazy thing ever. I do think that the breeze, fucking hell, the wind charges need a little buff. I think that they need to be able to launch you higher. So like when you use them, they should be able to work like a fireball. They need to do as much of a jump as a fireball. I know that it would be harder because fireballs and snowballs are entities, but yeah, I do get it. I do also think that not letting them push players is kind of stupid because they do push players in like the actual Minecraft, I believe. But yeah, if I was able to, buff them a little bit, I would make it so that you can knock a player back by maybe like one block, maybe by like half a block, because they're spammable, no cooldown or anything, and they're pretty fast. So if you make them like do knockback, they're gonna become insane for combos, and they also have like pretty decent particles. So I can kind of see why they don't want them to, deal knockback. But if you could make them deal knockback, they would be insane for starting combos. They would be a more PvP version of a fireball, which I think that would be fantastic. So yeah, I would say buff them a little bit, because the distance of the jump is not worth buying. Because in my opinion, I would rather get a Gapple than a Breeze wind charge. Mainly because with a Gapple, I can heal back more than I take from the Fireball. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I think the wind charge needs a buff. Maybe same with the Mace. Maybe instead of 0.25 additive damage per block, it should be maybe 0.5, or maybe make like an enchant that makes it do a little bit more base damage. But yeah, as of right now, the maze is gonna be a niche item. It's not gonna be an item that you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I got 8 emeralds, I'm gonna buy a maze and like jump boost. Because the damage output from like that is like, okay, jump boost will take me like this high, then I'm gonna jump down, but I'm gonna do the same exact damage as I would do with an iron sword. And actually, this is not counting crits. So yeah, with crits it gets a little bit more interesting, but when I used it, obviously I didn't use it as well as you would want to use it, but it's a very interesting item. I think it's very situational, as I said. But knowing the average player, they're always, this is the problem with the maze. You're gonna spawn, you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna jump down, you're gonna break the guy's bed, he's gonna go directly to his base. What do you do now? Do you like fireball jump into the wall and hit him? Like you're gonna get comboed. But yeah, the problem with the mace is simple. No matter what you do, you will get comboed. And that's it. The mace is very weak because when you get launched up, you're probably gonna KB stick, you're dead. Like quite frankly, if I use the mace, I jump here, I get hit with a KB stick, yeah, I'm fucked. So yeah, maybe that's in my opinion the problem with the mace. It says very easy to counteract, but if you can do a successful surprise attack, you can easily get a two shot or a one shot. But yeah, in my opinion, fireballs are better than wind charges when using the mace. Because you take a little bit of damage, but the altitude that you get compared to with the wind charges, it's significant, honestly. Anyways, though, that is going to be it for the video. Thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye.